Well, there's only one way to be sure of the wiring and the colors on this, because I can't see it in there, and that is to focus camera, a piece of junk. That is to take, what is wrong with the camera? Come on. Oh well. Is to take this screw loose and these two on the other side, and I'm going to have to come up with another screw for this side while I'm at it. So I'm going to take it off. That way I'll be able to show you more of how it's assembled. And there's the little TPU piece, and you can see, whoops, one of them dropped out. There's a little standoff right there. There was a second one in here. It went someplace. Anyway, I'll find it in a second here. Get the compass GPS out of here. It's the only way I know to be 100% sure of the wiring. Come on out, boy. Phew. Boy, I wonder where my other little standoff went. I need that. All right. So let me make up a wiring diagram for this creature. And I found my second standoff. It was in the TPU on the back. So here's the strange part about this GPS. There's two connectors on it. And this one is labeled right down through here with the signal. This one is not. But this one over here has the direction arrow on it. Now everybody seems to be putting these in this model this way, backwards. And you have to tell it that it's both pointed backwards from the flight controller and that it's tilted down. I don't know why you tell it it's tilted down, even though it is at takeoff, because when it's flying, it's upright. I'm going to follow the build as I showed you when I started this, whose build I was following, etc. So I'm going to follow that. Everybody says that this connector has no connection. Well, I can't tell that. I'll look at the circuit board again, but you can't tell. But I just don't believe that. In my humble opinion, there's two connectors on there and they're both identical. I cracked that connector a little bit. I think they're both identical. And I could put this in here and it would do just as well as it does in the side it's in, and I could say the GPS was mounted forward this way. But for some reason that's not what they're doing, not what the build says to do, so I'm going to go with that. So let me get my signals here and do me up a wiring diagram again. Okay, there's the 6 connections we want to solder to. Let me go ahead and do that. There's those 6 pads tinned. I did a little better on them, a little more awake this time of day. And there's all the compass wires connected, ready to clean that extra flux off of there. And the GPS modules should be fairly self-configuring. So right now, no GPS. We'll click connect. We're connected by USB cable. Look at that. The GPS went to no fix. So I think we're collecting satellites right now if we can. We can run over to setup just for kicks and grins and look at compass. Oh, look at that. It's detected. And that all seems correct at this time. Remember, we've got that one little thing to talk about. I'm going to let this sit here for a few minutes and see if it gets any satellites. These down here, I redid my computer while I was waiting on parts this week. And I completely reinstalled the operating system. Started with format C:, basically, if you understand that from the old days. So you've seen over the past few videos that there's some defaults and stuff on Windows that I'm still resetting up. But anyway, we'll get back to this. I'm going to let that sit there for a few minutes and see if it does gather up some satellites. Okay, I tried something else while I was at it. Right here is also where this GPS is labeled no signal on that connector. So for kicks and grins, just a second ago, I switched over to that connector and it looks like it is true. It's no connection. I got no power light, no nothing. So I switched back to this connector and everything's fine again, and I'm trying to acquire satellites right now. So that settles that question. Wasn't just people talking about this compass when they were setting it up. It's people doing exactly like I am at this time, telling you that connector has no signal in it, and this documentation says that too. So this confirms what I had heard, plus my little experiment just now confirms. There's everything with the GPS back in place. 2 screws in here. You can see I've got a red light on it. I haven't locked up any satellites yet, but there may still be a little bit more configuration. 2 screws on the other side. I went ahead and found a M2 screw out of my stuff to replace that missing screw from the kit build. So now I have all 4 screws in the back. And I guess we're ready to move to hooking up the video transmitter right here. I'm going to go ahead and cut this video off here and break them on subject. I've been trying to get my videos 20 minutes or less. That's my goals. That frame one ran twice that. Just had to have it. Sometimes they do. But I'm going to break this one here and say thank you guys.